Subhanallah, the love the Prophet ﷺ has for his ummah is such that he separated and called those people who love him his brothers, and he separated them from the companions. When the companions ﷺ, the Rasul ﷺ said, Tuba li ikhwani, may the blessed be my brothers. And then the Sahaba radiallahu anhum said, are we not your brothers? Alasna ikhwanukum, are we not your brothers? No? And then the Rasul said, Bal antum ashabi, no, you are my companions. And then the Rasul that he mentioned, when the ikhwani alladhi ya'tu min ba'dikum, those who are my brothers who come after you, and they will not have seen me, and they would have loved if they would have spent mountains of gold in order to see me. And that the Rasul is putting together with us and connecting us to the muhabbat he has to see every single one of us. Such that the Rasul such that the Rasul is calling out to every single one of us. And Allah verifies this in Surah Tawbah. Harisun alaykum ma anittum. He is haris, he is covetous that upon you, that anything of pain should come to you, any hardship should come to you, any sadness should come to you, any depression should come to you, any poverty should come to you. The Rasul is harisun alaykum. And this is encapsulated words of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, and these are the words of Allah Most High, which have remained within and since the beginning and predating time, because the revelation of Allah is not subject to time. It is the words of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala Most High. So when we start thinking about the seerah of the Rasul sallallahu alaihi wasallam, know that you are talking about a being. Now we are talking about a being, sallallahu alaihi wasallam, which the companions understood. The companions started to understand the status of the Rasul sallallahu alaihi wasallam, such that they started to write poetry in praise of him. And when they started to write poetry in the praise of the Prophet ﷺ, they said these words. The companions said these words. When they said, ضَمَّ اللَّهُ إِسْمُهُ لَإِسْمِهِ إِذَا قَالَ الْمُؤَذِّنِ فِي خَمْسِ أَشْهَدُ. He said what? He said that this poet companion, what did he say? He said that Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala has connected his name with your name. When 5 it is said, Ashhadu. No? So this is who's speaking here. Is it some person in the 4th or 5th century, somebody mubalagh, somebody exaggerating the love of the Prophet ﷺ? Who is the one that is speaking here? It's none other than Hassan ibn Thabit. His understanding that Allah has connected his name to the name of the Prophet ﷺ 5 times a day. When it is said 10 times a day. If you look at the 5 times Salah time and Shahada said twice. Yes? So this was who said this? Sayyidina Hassan ibn Thabit radiallahu ta'ala said this. So they understood what? They understood that the connection of Allah and the connection of the Rasul sallallahu alaihi wasallam is such that cannot be disconnected. And this is why the scholars have understood that to understand the Quran, to understand this deen, to understand this faith, to internalize his faith, and to become mahbub and muhib, to become beloved and to love Allah, can only occur through the Rasul sallallahu alaihi wasallam. So it's this we start to understand. It's through this seerah we start to understand the being of the Rasul sallallahu alaihi wasallam. Sayyidina Umar. Sayyidina Umar radiallahu ta'ala anhu, wa ma'adraka an Umar, and you know what has reached us about Sayyidina Umar radiallahu ta'ala anhu. When he comes to the Prophet sallallahu alaihi wasallam, and he says to the Prophet sallallahu alaihi wasallam, Ya Rasulullah, wa anta ahabba ilayya an-nas ilayya illa an-nafs allati bayna janbayya. He says, you are the most beloved to me except my own soul, which is in between my sides, my soul and himself. What did Rasul sallallahu alaihi wasallam say? He said, Laysa al-an ya Umar. He's talking to Sayyidina Umar radiallahu ta'ala anhu. Not yet, Umar. Not yet. and your iman is still deficient. Your iman is still deficient. Look at this, the heart of the companions. The companions were such that they had so much control over their hearts that they could transform their faith upon the words of the Rasul alayhi salatu wasalam. For a person, it would take a lifetime to transform that, or months, or years, or longer, or decades. But the companions had control over their hearts, such that in a moment, he was able to say to Rasul alayhi salatu wasalam at that moment, and also the soul that is within my two sides. At that moment, the Rasul alayhi salatu wasalam said, Al-an ya Umar, Al-an. This teaches us something very central. This teaches us that Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala and the Rasul alayhi salatu wasalam is not just an academic, quote unquote, love of the Rasul alayhi salatu wasalam. Our faith is both emotional and intellectual, academic. What does that mean? It means, and it's also to do with the affairs of the heart, just as much as to do affairs of affirmation within our heart, with our minds. Nobody in their right mind from the believers would say that they don't love the Rasul sallallahu alaihi wasallam. But this level of love of the Prophet sallallahu alaihi wasallam is what level? This is the level of belief, and we've all attested to the Rasul sallallahu alaihi wasallam. But how has that attestation of the Rasul sallallahu alaihi wasallam penetrated into our hearts? Has it entered into our hearts? Is it still very much on the outer forms of our tongues? And a person can only love the Rasul sallallahu alaihi wasallam, and you can't love that which you don't know. No? You can't love that which you don't know. So when we are in the presence of the seerah of the Rasul alayhi salatu wasalam, we are on a journey of love. We are in a journey of picturing the Rasul alayhi salatu wasalam as you close your eyes and send salutations upon him. You're in the station of almost being within the center of the Rasul sallallahu alaihi wasallam when we're in the depths of the seerah. So when Sayyidina Hassan al-Thabit said those words, those lines of poetry, and so much more other which he said, the poetry is the language of love. And that's in any language, whether it's in Arabic or any other language. If a person wants to write something to affect the emotions of a person, they don't write it in prose, they write it in poetry more often than not. Because poetry is that with تحرك القلوب, and that's why the word in the Arabic language for poetry, shi'r, comes from the word yash'ur. But shi'r, poetry comes from the word yash'ur, which means to feel. Because poetry does what? It starts to make you feel realities rather than just academically understanding or comprehending realities. And Rasul sallallahu alaihi wasallam, when he mentioned taqwa ha huna, taqwa ha huna, taqwa huna, wa ishara ila qalbihi, he said taqwa is here, taqwa is here, taqwa is here, and he pointed to his heart sallallahu alaihi wasallam. What does that mean? What does he mean by that? He means by that faith is in the heart, as love of the Rasul sallallahu alaihi wasallam is in the heart.